Maple Namu. Hello and welcome back, or for the first time, to the Maple Namu Podcast. My name is Chris, and in this episode, I am going to talk about probably the biggest problem my wife and I have as an international couple. And one of the questions I get asked a lot is, why am I still in Korea? Like, Chris, you've been here 9 years and you're still here? Or what's going on? Do I miss Canada? And sure, I miss some parts of being in Canada. I mean, probably the biggest thing is how easy things can be. Like here, I have to struggle to buy trash bags, but in Canada, I can even go to the bank and do things without, a constant struggle. But in terms of other parts, I mean, not really. Like, my day-to-day life is very similar here as it would be in Canada. I mean, I wake up, I go to work, I eat food, I come home, I eat more food, and I go to bed. It doesn't really matter where you are these days because so much of our lives are online. It's easy enough to get Western food here. There's a couple things I miss, like root beer and some chocolate bars and, poutine, which is, if Canada had a national food, it would be that. And other than that, it's really not that much different. We do have a bit more buying power here in Korea. If we were back in Canada, we would be struggling a lot more in terms of money, like money for hobbies and money for gas and cars. The cost of living is a little bit smaller here, so the cost of living here or cost of living there for the same kind of lifestyle, why not live in a place where money lasts longer? Is what I thought for most of the time. When I first came to Korea, though, after about the first year, I made a decision to stay for 5 years. What a lot of people do here is they come for 1 year and they're like, I'm going to go home after 1 year. And then next year I'll do 1 more year. And then next year I'll do 1 more year. And they may end up being here for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, but they never planned to be. So they never made decisions related to staying somewhere for a long time. But I decided 5 years. Buy a car, put some effort into learning Korean, really invest myself in furthering my education. And my plan was to stay for 5 years. And in year 4, I guess, I met my now wife and started dating. And we've been together, we've been married almost 4 years. So together for 5.5 now, I guess. But I've stayed and I'm here and I've settled and I have things that I like and I'm comfortable. So the idea of moving away from that is, I guess, uncomfortable. I mean, I'm not afraid of moving, but if you've ever lived abroad or settled in another country, you do it one time unless you are that kind of person that wants to do it again and again. It's nice to put down roots. So like I'm here and I'm stuck here, kind of. We have been a little bit worried about money lately. If you've been listening, you knew that I had to go back to work. I didn't have a job for a while. My wife wasn't working for a while. We had a pretty difficult year in a lot of ways, and we've started just like worrying about the future a lot more. And I don't talk about it too much, but my father, my dad, is sick. He's on dialysis, which is a fancy word for cleaning his blood or other things. His kidneys don't work very well. And he just got really unlucky. Essentially, 20, 30 years ago, his old doctor retired, and his new doctor kind of forgot about him. And he was on a medication for a lot longer than he should have been. And it's just caused nothing but problems. He was able to retire, and then he just got worse. And it really sucks because, like, the American or Canadian dream is you work a lot. You build something up, you retire, and then you get to enjoy life, which is kind of not really working these days, but that's what he grew up with, and he was in a position where he would have had it, and then bam, got sick. There's really not a lot we can do about it, though. We're just trying to keep him going. He's got a team of doctors that are keeping him alive, and he's doing everything he can to get better. But, you know, it's hard, and it's hard being away from that. We've been thinking about this more because we are hopefully actually able to go to Canada this year for the first time in more than 3 years. It'll be about 3 years, almost to the day, since we visited last time. So we're getting ready, we're preparing, we're talking to parents, we're making plans. This is the first time that I'll be able to spend Christmas in Canada in 9 years. We're going to meet my brother and his kids, and we're actually going to have everybody in one house, hopefully, for the first time ever. So it's kind of cool. It's really exciting. Hopefully we can still go. The new variant of the coronavirus is out, Omicron, or however you pronounce it. And as we're getting closer, I can see that my parents are excited and that they need help with stuff. And it's been a bit of a shock realizing that. Like, it's not easy. I guess for a while I've been kind of thinking out of sight, out of mind. I mean, we talk to my parents every week on a video chat, but it's different seeing them. I know my wife was quite shocked when she saw her parents getting old. Her mom starting to forget things, and you can sometimes see when her dad's really tired, you can see it in his eyes that he's getting older. So it's been a bit of a shock, and I think it's going to be an even bigger shock if we get back to Canada. And I'm kind of thinking in a bit of a panic, I guess, because here we are in Korea, but I'm kind of like, my parents are in Canada and they're not doing very well, and I don't love my job here. So what about moving to Canada and learning a trade and learning a new job, a career switch? I'm not that old. I am heavily invested in teaching, but it's not too late to try something else and be there and be with my parents and take care of them. But this brings us back to the title. The biggest international problem we have is there's another set of parents. I mean, my wife's Korean. Her parents are Korean. They live in Korea. Her dad doesn't even have a passport. And we could go to Canada, drop everything and go to Canada and take care of my parents. But in just a couple of years, we would have to do the same thing for her parents. Like, she can't leave her parents here for too long, and I don't think I should leave my parents there for as long as I have. But if we're both working, and, a typical Korean job might get 3 days of vacation, and I'm lucky if I get a week in most positions. There are better ones, I suppose, but what are we going to do? Like, a regular job, we can't travel, spend a few months a year in Canada. Not to mention the salary is not amazing. It's expensive flying, especially flying direct. Flying direct in peak season is almost twice as much as flying in the winter. So we're working on finding other ways. We know that we can't spend our whole lives working for somebody else because we just can't. So we got to find other things. Like, the wife is doing a lot of crafts. We're worried about, or she's doing a lot of crafts. She's doing Instagram webtoons. She's posting other little things. If you want to see them, you can search for Penadon on YouTube or Instagram. There's some stuff there. And we're just trying different things to see what we can do. We don't want to be millionaires. We're not trying, well, I mean, it would be nice. We're not trying to have enough money to buy a small country. We want to be comfortable and be in a position where we can take care of both sets of parents, because we made the choice to be an international couple. We kind of knew what we were getting into, and I mean, we knew it in one way, but now we're seeing it. It feels a little bit different, and maybe it's a problem. I guess it's a problem, but it's not the worst kind. But it's something we really have to think about, and we really have to find a way that we can be able to be there for both sets, because, we get older. I guess maybe that's me getting older. I'm realizing these things, and I have to do something about them now. But anyway, that's probably our biggest problem right now as an international couple. Anything else is kind of small compared to that. But hopefully we figure something out. Anyway, that's it for this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed listening. If you did, let me know. If you didn't, you can also let me know, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. Have a great day.